Hi, I'm Donna Guest, the Lazy Scrapbooker, and welcome to another Tuesday tip.
Tonight, I'm going to give some pointers on the 12-inch trimmer. And I know I've got a video for this, and I do a lot with the 12-inch trimmer, but I can't show these trimmer tips enough. First of all, everyone knows about the sight lines, or maybe you don't. When you're trimming, your mat is right here, and your cutting line is this line right there, that dotted line to the left. And so if you can't see the mat, the cutting line, because usually you've got a piece of paper over it, so you won't be able to see it, this sight line that tucks itself up way up in the edges there will tell you exactly where you're trimming. I always say it's really easy to see how this works, how effective it is if you're cutting school pictures. You know how they come with 8 wallets to a page? That's the one that makes you understand how well this works. It helps you cut those perfectly. Another tip let's talk about replacements. So when this mat gets worn, we can replace this. Now, Creative Memories tells us we get 2,000 cuts per mat, and that's 500 per number. See, I'm on number 1 now, and when that one gets worn and it's pretty close, I'll switch it around to number 2. And then when that's worn, I'm going to turn it upside down and go to number 3, and then go to number 4. And I certainly don't have to count 500 cuts because that would be ridiculous, but you'll know when you need to switch it. It will not feel like it's a good trimmer, and you know this is the best trimmer out there. So once you switch that around, it'll make a huge difference. Now, the other replacement is your blade. Creative Memories tells us that this blade gets 1,500 cuts. So actually, the blade should wear out before the mat does, but I have not experienced that. And I've only switched my blade once, and I'm probably on my 4th mat, but that's just me. To look at the blade, I had one customer who her trimmer was not cutting well, and it didn't look like she needed to change the mat, so we looked at her blade, and when I press here, because it's a safety blade, I can do this without cutting myself. When I press into this little white button here, which is basically the same as pressing down on this, the blade pops out. And let me see, I think you can see that a little bit. We actually could look at hers, and in the light, it looked really worn. You could see jagged edges. So she replaced the blade, and it was like she had a brand new trimmer. So on the back, we have all these decorative blades. And one thing I want to show you, I'm going to use the stamping as an example. It's a great example for what I'm about to show you. When you're putting your blades in, always think to get the appropriate pattern, you want to go logo to logo. So I always use my trimmer like this. You want to use it with the logo where you can read it and not upside down. Although I know some people, if you're left-handed, it may be easier like this. But I use mine like this. And when I'm cutting something small, I tend to go to this side of it over here because it's just easier to measure 1 inch right here without having to feed all this paper through and go right there. I just find that easier to use that right hand short side of the tray here. So I'm going to use this stamping blade, which creates a cool pattern. And I'm going to do it with the logo. See, the other side is blank. The logo facing the logo. And watch what happens. Hopefully you can see it well on this dark sheet of navy paper. Okay, so you can see that pattern there. And I'll get it closer to the camera so you can see it. It looks like the edge of a postage stamp, which is why it's called the stamping blade. If I had done this differently though, turn the paper around so it's like I'm doing the same thing, and I'm going to face the logo to the right side. If I do the logo away, you're going to get a completely different cut. And now on the edge of my paper, it looks like a scalloped edge. So it's the reverse. So keep that in mind when you're trying to cut that pattern. Now, if I wanted this stamping pattern on both sides, let's see, and I just cut it right here, and I got that, I would need to either turn my blade around or my paper around to get the same thing. So if I turn my paper around, and this can be so confusing, I know, then I'm going to get the stamping on both sides. So something has to be turned around to do that. All right, so just keep that in mind. I always say logo to logo will give you the intended pattern. And let me change this back to my straight blade, or I will forget, and then tuck this away here. And you have storage here. I've actually got an old mat here so I could show people what it really looks like when it gets worn out. So I've just been keeping that there. I need to keep a new mat because I'm about to go on my retreat and I'll probably need one. You never know. So the other thing that I always like to show as well is, and I know I show this a lot, but in case you've never seen it, this ruler here on the aluminum track. There's a ruler on the side. And the cartridge housing has this white line which tells you when you press down where the blade is cutting. Watch the distance between the white line and the edge of the cartridge housing. 1 inch from here to here. The beauty of that is that you can easily see exactly where you're cutting. For example, if I need to cut a 6x4 mat, I go over here and do 4 inches here. Now, I can't see, if I'm sitting back here off camera, I can't see around here. I can't see my white line, but I can see the edge of my cartridge housing and I can see the ruler. So, doing a little bit of easy math, if I want to cut down 6 inches, I'm going to press and cut all the way down until the edge of my cartridge housing is not at 6, but actually at 7, because at that point I know the white line is at 6. So now I've got a 6-inch cut, and I'll do the same out here. Putting it at 6 inches out there and pressing down until the edge of my cartridge housing comes down to 5. So I know it's a perfect 4x6 mat. And you can see I really conserved paper here without butchering your paper and cutting it through. Oh, the other thing with the ruler here, the 16-inch ruler, and I've yet to use 16 inches, usually just 12, there's a little foot on the bottom that if you press this, it will pop out, and that gives you a more stable cutting surface. Remember about the little foot, and then I can just press it like that to bring it back in.
I hope you enjoyed this Tuesday tip. Thanks for watching. Want to see more? Check out my playlist called Tuesday Tips.